Hello everyone, welcome to Get Cisco CCNA Wireless in 21 days course. The name of the course might be audacious, but if you follow each step 21 days, then you will see that Cisco CCNA Wireless exam was not the monster that you were avoiding. We will learn each exam topic and see how they are configured on labs. At the end, we will test ourselves with two real exam-like practice exams. Now, I will go over each day and let you know what you will learn day by day till the big day arrives. On day 1, we will be describing the propagation of radio waves. We will learn about RF signals and the spectrum. We will answer some questions like what is frequency, what is amplitude, what is phase difference, and we will also learn about different phenomena related with RF signals, such as absorption, reflection, diffraction, scattering, and refraction. We will go over multipath and fading and its reasons. We will also learn free space path loss and what Fresnel zone is. On day 2, we will go deep into RF fundamentals. What is signal strength? What does RSSI mean? How to calculate transmit power? And we will go over some different interference types and the noise. What are different device requirements and capabilities? We will also learn principles of RF mathematics. How to calculate dB, dBi, dBd, dBm, and how we can measure different power levels. We will also learn to calculate EIRP. We will see Wi-Fi antenna characteristics. We will understand different radiation patterns, what does polarization mean, what gain means, beam width, and we will understand different antenna types. We will also go over different antenna connectors, amplifiers, and attenuators. On day 3, we will describe basic Wi-Fi governance. What are the governing regulatory bodies, such as FCC, ATSI, NTT, and what is IEEE, why do we need IEEE, what is IEEE 802.11 standards, and we will also learn about usable channel and power combinations. We already learned EIRP on the previous day, so we will learn its limitations, and we will be learning about ISM and UNII frequency bands. We will go over RM fundamentals, and we will understand Wi-Fi Alliance and how it can help us. 802.11 fundamentals will be the second part of day 3. Modulation techniques such as FHSS, DSSS, and OFCM will be discussed in depth. On day 4, we will describe 802.11 fundamentals. We will understand different 802.11 standards such as B, A, G, N, and AC. We will understand channel width, and we will go over MIMO and its different features. We will learn how MIMO happens, and we will understand multiple user, multiple input, multiple output. We will go over different wireless network types. Then we will start going over wireless topologies such as BSS, ESS, IBSS, and understand different wireless device characteristics such as repeater, workgroup bridge, outdoor bridge, and we will go over mesh networks. At the end of day 4, we will understand different wireless frame types. On day 5, we will describe various Cisco wireless architectures. What is autonomous AP? How cloud can help us learn it? What is split MAC architecture? What are different types of split MAC architecture such as centralized, flex connect, and convert? Then we will go over physical connections for wired and wireless infrastructure. We will understand how to connect VLCs to switches, how to connect different access point types to switches, and why do we need Ether channel. We will also learn different VLC and AP management access combinations, management methods, IP addressing, and we will go over management via wireless, why we should stop using it. We will end our day 5 with a lab that will be introduction to VLC and how to modify management access. On day 6, we will learn how to execute initial setup procedures for different Cisco wireless infrastructures, such as autonomous. How we can do the initial setup for autonomous access points, and then we will learn how to set up cloud APs and manage them. And in between, we will go over 3 labs and understand the initial configuration of autonomous APs live, and see how to configure per-shared key authentication on autonomous access points, and how to configure radius authentication on ICE with autonomous APs. Those 2 will be a great foundation for further labs. On day 7, we will start executing the initial setup procedures for split MAC architecture. The first one will be centralized deployment. We will go over 7 labs and first understand how to configure an interface on your VLC and set up your first wireless LAN. Then we will configure band select, clean air, and local profiling on your wireless LAN. Clean air reports and air quality index will be another focus. We will go over how to prepare our branch switch and VLCs for Flex Connect configuration. How to do the configurations will be our main focus. Configuring local switching at Flex Connect wireless LAN and configuring your access point mode to Flex Connect and doing the wireless LAN to VLAN mappings will be a huge part of day 7. We will also understand what Flex Connect means and how we can do the deployment. You will configure Flex Connect group and local authentication. On day 8, we will execute initial setup procedures for our Cisco wireless infrastructure, but this time it will be for converged deployment. It will be foreign for you as you didn't deal with it maybe previously, but we will go step by step how to connect to your 3650 wireless web GUI on converged architecture, how to do the initial settings, and how to configure local profiling, band select, and clean air on your converged architecture. So this will be your introduction to converged architecture and doing its labs. On day 9, we will learn AP boot processes, different access point states. What is CAPWAP discovery? What are different CAPWAP discovery methods? Different join processes, and we will understand what kind of methods and which different methods can be used by access points to find their wireless LAN controller, such as DHCP, DNS, using the master controller configuration or primary, secondary, and tertiary configuration. We will also go over comparing different access point modes: local mode VIPs, Flex Connect mode, Office Extend, Monitor mode, Rogue Detector mode, Sniffer mode, Bridge mode, Flex Plus Bridge mode, and lastly, we will go over SE Connect mode. And we will understand their differences and why do we need them. On day 10, we will configure a simple wireless LAN. We will understand what do we need to configure, what are the parameters that need to be configured, and what we need to configure for security. We will also decide whether we should broadcast SSID or not. Different security levels for layer 2, layer 3, and how to choose a AAA server and some parameters for advanced topics will be discussed. We will also go over different platforms for wireless management and configurations. How we can configure a wireless LAN controller via GUI, via CLI, and how we can configure wireless LAN controllers and autonomous access points via Cisco Prime infrastructure will be discussed. How we can use ICE, Identity Services Engine, as a AAA server for wireless configurations will also be went over. And in the last part of day 10, we will understand how to maintain a wireless network, how to get wireless and controller backups, how to do code updates for wireless components such as autonomous access points, AirOS-based controllers, and iOS XE-based controllers. On day 11, our main concern will be about authentication, encryption, and 802.1x and E processes. We will understand what authentication is, what are different encryption types to keep AES, and then we will go over 802.1x process. And E process and different E types will be another topics that we will go over. We will compare most common methods and understand E process deeply. Then we will go over AAA server options. On day 12, we will talk about different client authentication methods. Why do we use open authentication? What are benefits? And what are disadvantages of open authentication? We will also talk about pre-shared key authentication and local EAP authentication. And also we will learn how to configure them in your VLC, and we will go over wireless authentication using ICE as a radius server. We will also go over web authentication, how to configure it on your VLC, and we will also talk about different WPA modes. WPA Personal, WPA Enterprise, WPA 2 Personal, and WPA 2 Enterprise will be discussed deeply. And we will also do 3 labs on day 12. How to configure a wireless LAN with open authentication and converged architecture this time, and how to configure a new wireless LAN with pre-shared key authentication and converged architecture, and configuring WPA2 with pre-shared key on your wireless LAN. Those 3 will be our main labs on day 12. On day 13, we will learn how to provide client connectivity in different operating systems. What are those operating systems? First of all, we will go over Windows, then iOS, then macOS, and lastly, we will go over Android. We will do 5 labs related with associating your client to the wireless LAN, observing information about the client. Then we will understand how to configure a local user on the VLC, how to connect a wireless LAN with web authentication using a local user account, how to connect a wireless LAN with a user account on ICE, and then we will understand how to associate the wireless client to our wireless LAN on converged architecture. So this day will be all about doing the labs and understanding the theory behind it. On day 14, we will start a different topic, which will be roaming. We will learn different components of mobility architecture, such as mobility controller, mobility agent, and we will go over different types of roaming: intra-controller roaming, inter-controller roaming, and we will talk main deployment types such as centralized and converged mobility. We will go over both layer 2 and layer 3 for both deployments. And on day 14, we will conclude our day by knowing all about roaming. On day 15, we will go over each roaming topic by doing labs about them. We will do the labs on roaming configuration, how to add foreign VLC to anchor VLC, intra-controller, how to do the roaming configuration by adding anchor VLC to foreign VLC with centralized mobility layer 2, how to convert a mobility agent to mobility controller, and do the initial configurations on your converged architecture, WCM, and converged mobility on layer 2, and we will understand how to configure RF power channel settings and data rates on your converged architecture. After doing the roaming labs, we will just go over channel settings and data rates. So day 15 will be all about labs and practice what we learned on day 14 and before. On day 16, we will go over wireless guest networking. We will do that with anchor controller and foreign controller. How to configure guest wireless LAN on the foreign VLC and adding mobility anchor. We will also configure guest virus under Anchor VLC and add the mobility anchor to itself. So we will understand first the theory behind guest networking, what anchor controller means, what foreign controller means. Then we will practice what we learned on the start of day 16 by finishing it on 2 different labs. On day 17, we will troubleshoot what we learned so far. First, without troubleshooting, we will understand what are different troubleshooting methods. And we will go over different virus and configuration settings that can cause problem for us and that we need to check, such as security settings, SSID, and some infrastructure settings that can cause problems for a virus LAN. And we will also go over what can go wrong for your access point settings, port level configuration, power settings, power outputs of different switches, orientation and positioning of your access points will be discussed further. On day 18, we will continue our troubleshooting journey. We will understand different client settings that we need to troubleshoot, such as SSID, security, and we will even go further into checking device driver version. Then, we will understand different controller troubleshooting tools. GUI logs, CLI show commands, and monitor pages will be our main focus. Lastly, on day 18, we will go over third-party troubleshooting tools, different spectrum analyzers, what different Wi-Fi scanners offer us, what are different packet analyzers. On day 19, we will be talking about different site survey methods. One of them is off-site site survey, which is also known as predictive site survey. The other one is on-site. And the on-site site survey, we have a couple of options. The first one is pre-deployment site survey. We can use an API on a stick as an active pre-deployment on-site site survey. And we can also use the post-deployment on-site site survey, and in the post-deployment, we can have passive and active site surveys. And we will understand how to configure them on your Ekahau site survey software. We will also go over the reasons why we need site survey and how we can apply outcomes of those site surveys to get our wireless design better. Then we will also talk about what we need for our client application requirements. What are real-time applications, what are non-real-time applications, and how we can implement those requirements properly. On day 20, we will test ourselves against a real exam like practice exam 1. We will go over different questions and we need at least a score of 80%. We will have 90 minutes and after that you will see the result and you can ask any questions related with that exam on the Q&A section, or you can even send a direct message. On day 21, you will face with a tougher exam. This will be an exam, real exam like practice exam, and again you will have to get 80% in 90 minutes. Those questions will be tougher than practice exam 1, and if you are getting in both practice exams above 80%, then it means that you're set for the real exam. If you didn't do it, you have to go back and check the theory and lab sections on each day. You can go over the course a couple of more times and you can do the practice exams as much as you want. And this is the end of our Get Your Cisco CCNA Wireless in 21 Days course. After 21 days, you will learn all about Cisco CCNA Wireless exam topics and go over different labs so that you will have a better foundation for each topic. And you will even have the chance to test yourself with 2 real exam-like practice exams. For more information, just ask me anything on the Q&A section or send me a direct message so that you will be able to ask anything related with the course. I want you to achieve your Cisco CCNA wireless in 21 days so that you will be set and get your Cisco CCNA wireless badge before February 24th, which will be the exam deadline for Cisco CCNA wireless and all other CCNAs. If you get it before the deadline, that means that you will be able to convert this to new CCNA, and you will also get a wireless specialist badge for your company and for yourself to use it in further Cisco certification journey and in your profession. Thank you for watching.